to Bad Larry.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the conclusion of the Extermination Agenda series. I'm your host, Bad Larry, and today we have the final triple banger of Uncanny X-Men number 272, The New Mutants number 97, and the reason why I'm here, X Factor number 62. Everyone loves Jim Lee in general. He's the man, no doubt, but even he isn't immune from constructive criticism. I know the goal for a cover is to elicit a response, to have the reader pick up the mag and buy it. But consistency matters too. Storm, as the central character, is cool looking and all that, but she looks to be about 26 or 27 here, full on voluptuous female. However, based on the previous issues, she's supposed to be in her little 13-year-old kid body. Little kids don't look like this, just saying. I despise when there's too much white paneling showing the empty space. It seems weak sauce. We're buying what? 22, 23 drawn pages in a comic book? At least fill them out. The X-Men and X-Factor, basically, everyone's caught by Cameron Hodge, and the Genosian government is about to put them through some sham trial. The guilty verdict, of course, is expected. She-Hulk wants to go there to represent the mutants, but the Genosian government said nope to that. The Jim Lee splash pages just hit different. They're just spectacular, but they aren't perfect. Again, costume continuity should matter. It matters to me. How did Cyclops get into his X-Factor uniform? The last time we saw him, he was wearing the 007 Genosian mutate outfit that was torn up by Havoc. What, did someone just have a spare Cyclops uniform and line him out to put him into? If you notice the symbol directly in the middle, the red circle with the black sword and wings, it's a knockoff Nazi symbol, FYI. If it's rubbing you the wrong way the way it rubs me. Anywho, the white-haired goobers are clearly the Genosian lawyers, replicating the old British style of courtroom attire. All these courtroom proceedings are nice and all, as long as everyone behaves accordingly. You know who doesn't ever behave? Wolverine. They lock up his hands, but not his feet. Still a big mistake, because old boy's gnarly, even with his hands tied behind his back. The Genosians used a mutant named Wipeout to nullify all the hero's mutant abilities, but Wolverine is still rocking adamantium bones, and a kick from him is no joke. But they got Storm under their control now, and she easily uses her wind power to push Wolverine around. But here I find it a little suspect. 3 shots from this female magistrate, I think it's Tam, knocks Wolverine out? I don't think so. Tam tells our heroes basically, if you go to trial, you're going to be found guilty and put to death. Or you can choose to become a bald-headed mutate slave like Storm. Your choice. Of course, our heroes choose to not become slaves, duh, and are then handed over to Cameron Hodge. Forge is using some of his Indian techniques. He put himself in a little trance coma to prevent any mind reading. But as a penalty, Cameron Hodge has now ripped off his bionic limbs. Dang, I'm telling you, Hodge is no joke. But with all these X-Men, all their training, it's like herding a pack of lions around. One is going to make a move, and that lion is Cable. Gambit follows his lead like the smooth criminal he is. Cable and Gambit are able to wrangle up some guns from the soldiers, but Cameron Hodge hides behind Psylocke, using her as a shield. Cable can't take the shot, not anymore. As Cable drops the gun, Hodge plays dirty and fires. Gambit is too quick though and saves Cable, but gets wrapped up by Hodge. Hodge thinks that removing Cable's bionic arm is a good idea, but all of a sudden, Cable's eyes start to glow. And to be truthful, nothing comes of the glowing eye part. Psylocke taps out. I think she's faking, though. She says she will willingly become a bald-headed mutate. But all this does is put her in the hands of Havoc, which we know is now a good guy again. Just pretending, biding his time to turn on Hodge and the Genosians. Havoc leaves with Psylocke, leaving everyone else to suffer at the hands of Hodge. I wonder what Havoc's plan is. Cameron Hodge is just plain surly. He holds a grudge harder than anyone I've ever seen. He thinks Havoc was rude to him and will deal with him later. The point they wrote that in this issue shows how petty Cameron Hodge is. Now, to Hodge's main purpose for this whole charade, revenge against Archangel. He hates Archangel the most and now has him in his dirty robot tentacles. Meanwhile, Beast is trying to get a combo started along with Cable on how the heck are they gonna bust loose from this situation. Cameron Hodge thinks he's gonna have some mutant cockfighting here between Archangel and Wolverine, just for funsies, thinking letting Archangel loose to attack Wolverine is anything but a bad idea. But because Archangel's wings have an evil mind of their own, they do actually attack Wolverine, and without the healing factor, Wolvie is literally fighting for his life. And a page like this is why people love Wolverine. It's because of Jim Lee's art. It's so cool. Wolverine plans to cut off Archangel's wings. It's more easily said than done, though. Cameron Hodge is eating this fight up like a kid's eating popcorn at the movie theater. Dang it, they had to put that red shirt on Jubilee here, knowing that she's supposed to be in a pink shirt right now. Oh well. Jubilee is using her powers to blow these Genosian tech suits off Boom Boom. Of course, they're bickering at each other. What else is new? And Jubilee is overly eager to get Richter out of his suit. Little naughty Jubilee. But before Jubilee can free Richter, they spot Dr. Moreau, the Gene-Engineer, who is the one turning mutants into slave mutates. Dr. Moreau is up to something fishy, so the three teens follow him to see what's what. Hodge is getting bored with the cockfight because it's basically a stalemate right now. Hodge calls for a wipeout, but Dr. Moreau has called for him first. This dude, Wipeout, is the key. If they can take Wipeout out, then everyone should be back into action and the game will be back on. But when Wipeout takes your powers out, is it permanent? As I suspected, Psylocke was just a foolin'. She's a ninja. She needs to be able to do her work alone, take her enemies by surprise, which is what she does here. She is badass. And after whipping these guards' asses pretty easily, she's free to roam around, do her hero thing. Cameron Hodge is always peeping and a creeping, and he discovers that the Gene-Engineer, Dr. Moreau, is plotting against him. Is Hodge scared? Nah, he's more impressed than anything. So it seems Cyclops did have a plan the whole time, starting with Psylocke separating from the group. Now it's Gambit's turn. He takes the shard of metal shot at him from Cameron Hodge and uses his expert thievery skills to pick his lock and then free the other heroes. I will say, it is so odd seeing Cyclops without his visor. It's weird. I bet you it's cool for the other mutants too, like Jean Grey, to see Scott without his visor. Man's good looking, no homo. As Cyclops is getting everyone in place, Havoc walks in to see Wipeout shot dead by a plasma bolt. Cameron Hodge is setting up Havoc for murder. Somehow Hodge is able to get Wolfsbane to lie for him against Havoc. Hey, they aren't supposed to be able to lie like that, I thought. What's going on here? Why is Hodge taking out the Genosian magistrates? I thought they were on the same side. But Hodge, I guess, is making his move to take full control of the country so he can fulfill his dream of mutant genocide. Finally, they confirmed the Nazi connection to this whole story. The clues were always there. Genocidal maniac and Hodge, the symbolism. Psylocke is so kick-ass shooting machine gun with one hand, so 90s. Tam tells Psylocke they need to work together and that she has the key to restore all the mutants' powers. Time to make a decision, Psylocke. Work with Tam or not. Gotta risk it for that biscuit. Marvel Girl says enough is enough. She can't stand to see two friends of hers fight to the death because they're secretly both in love with her, or maybe not so secretly. All of a sudden, Tam busts in with little kid Storm coming for Cyclops. Storm looks like she's attacking Cyclops, but something strange happens. I don't know exactly how, but when she touches Cyclops, they both glow white hot, And then Storm is released from whatever transformation that Dr. Moreau put her through and is now back fully 100%, like in her adult body, I think. I think she sent all of that energy through Cyclops' eyes into the dimension where he gets his optic blast from. It's all very intriguing. And I have to eat crow hating on Jim Lee's cover art of Storm, as the cover represents this moment when Storm is totally back. Well, except her hair. When Storm touches Cyclops, it frees Cyclops as well, bringing his power back. And he blasts Hodge's ass bigly. Tam somehow has Cyclops' visor handy, very convenient. But that shot didn't fully take Hodge out, not yet at least. And that's it for part 7. I thought it was a great start to the final act of this miniseries. Now, let's start part 8 in the New Mutants, issue number 97. Wolverine looks sick on this cover. Well, except his eyes. And that forearm! Gnarly. And we have seen this shot of Cable at least 3 New Mutant covers by now. Cable shooting the same gun in the same pose. It's a highly recycled image by Rob Liefeld. I wonder why Rob wants to give Cable such a dramatic pushback receding hairline. It's kind of rude. Oh, Liefeld is not on the pencils this issue. I wonder why. It is Guang Yap. Never heard of him. Of course, Louise Simonson is writing. A lot of recap this first page, but we see the heroes are now free and toe-to-toe with Cameron Hodge. Remember back in a few issues before when we saw Dr. Moreau mixing up a secret sauce when transforming Storm into the mutate? Well, that's what this is. She's now the catalyst to restore everyone else's powers. And Cyclops tells Storm to start with Marvel Girl and the others who can fight at a distance. Smart. Cyclops is giving it his all, but it's only hindering Cameron Hodge at this point. Timing is always the main factor in a battle. Storm only had enough time to restore Cyclops and Marvel Girl's powers, and now the 3 are all attacking Hodge. But it seems even those 3 are not enough to stop Hodge. Hodge fires some deadly darts at the ladies, but right now it's a bit of a stalemate. Suddenly, there's an explosion! The ceiling crumbles on top of Hodge. Is he dead? Doubtful. The bomb was designed by Forge, only he and Cyclops were aware of it. Designed to take out the heart of the Citadel. Pretty clever, boys. And now it's time to revive old Forgy boy. Boom Boom is having to wear Jubilee's yellow trench coat, 'cause she naked underneath. Jubilee has a plan, but her plan revolves around Wipeout. She doesn't know Wipeout is dead already. The bomb that Forge planted killed the mutate, helping Dr. Moreau, but Dr. Moreau is still alive. Barely. The 3 teens are in the heart of the Citadel, clearly surrounded by all the screens and technology. They drag Dr. Moreau to a hiding spot as someone is coming their way. The 3 teen mutants are actually in Cameron Hodge's personal lair. Every villain needs a lair, right? Heroes have bases or caves, the Batcave. Villains have lairs. Hodge flippantly tosses a piece, the remaining piece of Warlock, which sends Boom Boom into hysteria. Richter is pissed as well, grabs up Dr. Moreau, demanding him to take him to Wipeout, not knowing that Wipeout is dead. What, Cyclops has the secret code word to wake Forge up? Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. And then Forge is back in business. Well, except he doesn't have his arm or leg. Can't even give Cyclops a proper high five. During this time frame, they had Storm in a romance with Forge. I like this timeline. And now that Storm's body is back as an adult, it's kissy kissy time. Does Gambit like Storm here? Interesting. I must point out the whack eye art here on Storm. What is she, a cat lady? Now that Forge is back at him, Cable needs Forge to fix his bionic arm back to functionality. The teams need to split up. They need to find Wolfsbane, they need to get to Hodge, and Cyclops says even if it means going through Havoc, none of them now know Havoc is back being a good guy though. Speaking of which, Havoc miraculously survived the bomb blast that Forge planted. Well, it killed the Genoshan guards, but not Havoc. Very, very lucky. And even more lucky, the dead guard just next to Havoc has the key to take off Havoc's power dampener. All very convenient writing, Louise Simonson. Wolfsbane, the mutate, walks in on Jubilee, Boom Boom, Richter, and Dr. Moreau and attacks Richter with all her might. And this is her mutate programming. Richter ain't got it in him to fight back. But Moreau commands her off and she complies. It's a sad state of affairs seeing the state of Wolfsbane like this, obedient slave dog rather than the vicious wolf lady like I know her to be. The teen mutants are in for a shock. Their plan to use Wipeout is cooked as they discover Wipeout is actually dead. Jubilee threatens Dr. Moreau to restore Boom Boom and Richter, but Dr. Moreau can't. But the cavalry just arrived. Storm is there. With a touch from her, their powers will be restored easy peasy. Everything is just falling into place. As Storm begins restoring everyone's powers back, Wolfsbane undergoes a different and unexpected change. Her wolf body is larger than it used to be. Dr. Moreau's program has unleashed her max potential, and Wolfsbane can now think and talk in this form as well. Noise. Dr. Moreau has to speak fast, keep Wolfsbane focused on a real enemy, Cameron Hodge, before she rips his head off. Now that Richter and Wolfsbane have transformed back into having powers, but Boom Boom is yet to have her turn. Will she get her powers back before that vile Cameron Hodge descends upon her? But it isn't the teens Hodge attacks, it's the adult heroes. Hodge feels Iceman is the most powerful against him, so he attacks him first with laser beams. Forge directs Banshee to destroy the part that lets Hodge phase in and out. But Hodge is too fast, covers up Banshee's mouth with a rope wire of some sort, which is also choking him to death. Before Psylocke is taken on by Hodge, she telepathically warns Cyclops that Hodge is on the loose. Gambit, Forge, and Beast are all letting loose on Hodge with all they got, but I don't think it's enough against him. As the new mutants in Dr. Moreau enter Cameron Hodge's lab, they mourn over the tragic loss of their friend Warlock and just start destroying shit. Everyone's taking their anger out on Hodge's lab without any regard and full blast. Hodge is mostly computer man, so computers need power. Destroying Hodge's power source is key, but will also draw Cameron Hodge back to where they are, which is essentially what happens. Mid-fight with Beast, Hodge bails and gets back to his lab. From the ceiling, Hodge uses his darts to take out Jubilee and Sunspot, nailing them to the wall. But the kids aren't even that mad. They're happy that they did something to actually hurt Hodge. Good. Hodge deserves everything he gets coming to him. Boom Boom unleashes her biggest made time bomb yet, which blows off one of Hodge's legs. But he gets her back, pinning her against the wall. But Wolfsbane comes out of nowhere, full of vicious rage and anger, her new maxed out power level being unleashed like a pit bull on a bone. But she gets the shit shocked out of her as well. Cannonball gets got to by Hodge. But Cable and Storm work together to free Cannonball, and now Hodge is on the back foot. He's unleashing on everyone. Dr. Moreau tries to redeem himself using some sort of shoulder-fired bazooka on Hodge. It doesn't do much and gets wrapped up by Hodge for his trouble. But Moreau keeps firing his bazooka. Now it's actually doing some damage to Hodge. Oh no, Cameron Hodge has killed Dr. Moreau, snapped his neck like a twig, all the while healing himself. Hodge phases down through the floor, leaving our heroes holding their jockey straps. This dude Hodge just won't die. The chase is on, but not everyone is healed up enough to continue the fight. Wolfsbane gives Boom Boom the ashes of Warlock, tells her to pour them on Doug's grave, another new mutant who has died. And then Cable, Wolfsbane, Storm, and Richter are back on the hunt for Cameron Hodge. This issue moved the needle quite a bit, as it should. We only have one issue left in this miniseries. So, off to part 9, the conclusion of the Extinction Agenda in X Factor number 62. And now for X Factor number 62, Jim Lee's cover never disappoints, even if Jubilee's shirt is red and not pink. Havoc is looking awesome here on the cover. I think it's foreshadowing the fact that he will soon be the head of X Factor, him being front and center this issue. But we don't get Jim Lee's pencils on the inside. We get old John Bogdanoff's. The comic cover by the good artist with the inside art by not as the good artist is like the first version of clickbait. Am I right? I don't know how to feel about Bogdanov's depiction of Wolfsbane here. He clearly gave her a regular set of human chesticles in which he has to cover up with his rag get up. But I don't know. Who wants to see some hairy wolf boobies? Not me. The formula is pretty clear now for layouts. First page is a teaser, but the second and third are used to create a full layout splash page. I like it though. I will say, I think John has made Wolfsbane look too big. Richter calls Cable in for help, but Wolfsbane is not backing down. She's in full attack mode. It looks like Wolfsbane transforms again into a full ginger wolf dog and tries to bite Hodge's neck off, but gets electrocuted instead, sending her flying backwards. Again, with a little art critique, John has made Richter too big and too old. Richter is a skinny teenager still, but I can't be mad at his depiction of Storm. Thick, super thick and thick with the 4 C's. And I like his depiction of Cable. Bogdanoff is hot and cold for me. Some of his art is so great and some so bad. Cameron Hodge has knocked out both Richter and Wolfsbane, and he can hear both Storm and Cable crawling through the vents. Come out, wherever you are. Oh, we get a little bonus special John camera angle with Storm here. I'm not mad at him for it. Hodge has Cable down, and now it's just Storm 1v1 against Hodge. Cable's on his radio call unit. He calls out for help to Cyclops. Cyclops gets the call, as well as Archangel. They're on their way, maybe for the final boss fight. Archangel looks cool in this shot, too. Cyclops orders Archangel to attack Hodge's back hump. No diddy, Cyclops. Another epic drawing here by Bogdanoff of Marvel Girl, Jean Grey. This page is a bit of a filler. Jean stopping a squawk bowl between Cyclops and Wolverine. But like I said, Bogdanoff is hot and cold. He seems to be hot with the ladies. What in the Giga Chad chin and lips is that Cyclops face? The 1v1 between Cameron Hodge and Storm has begun. Cameron Hodge is shooting laser beams, but Storm has the power of lightning. Who wins? Well, Storm takes out the laser gun, which looks like it was Hodge's wing wang, if you know what I mean. The sophomore drawing humor is why I give Bogdanoff a pass. He makes me laugh. Oh, Storm, grab that arm! He's really letting the reader get an eyeful, isn't he? Archangel arrives just in the nick of time. It's Hodge's arch nemesis. Archangel takes out Hodge's phasing unit, but Hodge isn't done fighting yet. This is like 1966 Batman. What is this? Mouth green goo shooter? It's an adhesive as well, trapping Archangel. He's unable to move. Hodge is about to cut Archangel's head off. Beast is hurt, but he pulls himself together, ripping himself his own doorway. He plans to use some of the slave mutates to help him in some way. As Hodge is about to kill Archangel, Havoc's plasma blast destroys the blade. Havoc unleashes on Hodge, but it doesn't seem to be doing that much damage. Hodge uses Archangel's body as a weapon, tossing him on Havoc, and is about to kill them both when Marvel Girl saves Havoc and Archangel with her telekinesis. Now it's 4 against 1. Let's see how this works out for Hodge. As the four all attack at once, Wolverine gets the worst of it. Now listen, I'm no guy who enjoys takes pleasure from seeing people in pain, and I'm no Wolverine hater, but I kind of like this page. As a Cyclops fan, you kind of gotta not like Wolverine that much. You don't hate him, but we know he's gonna heal. So this pain he must endure, that's payback for the kiss with Marvel Girl earlier in the series. What goes around comes around, bub. This top drawing of Boom Boom is a fail. What is that face? Horse face. When did Boom Boom get an outfit? She was wearing Jubilee's jacket last we saw her. Well, Beast links up with the four New Mutants and they run into Tam, the chief magistrate, who has the corrupt female president of Genosha at gunpoint. Everything seems to be falling back into place. Ah, the joys of seeing Wolverine scream in pain. Never gets old. Havoc and Cyclops are teamed up, blasting in tandem. Marvel Girl makes this big stink a few pages back about, I'm a real soldier, same as everyone. When Cyclops tried to tell her, hey, Jean, stay back, I don't want you to get hurt. But did she listen to Cyclops? No. Now look at her, knocked out. Typical. And Wolverine is down as well. It's up to the Summers brothers to finish this fight once and for all. Cyclops tries to warn Hodge. He always gives his enemies a chance to tap out. Give up now. The mutants are powered up again. He's on the back foot. Might as well surrender. Hodge refuses. He's too cocky. He believes too much in his tech. But the Summers brothers' powers charge each other up. And that is what happens. Cyclops and Havoc are super powering each other, unleashing hell on Hodge. Girl, get off Wolverine already. Your man is in there saving the day with his brother, and you're out here titties against the bare chest of his frenemy. Meanwhile, everyone is shocked by the power they are seeing unleashed by Cyclops and Havoc, not knowing that this bastard Cameron Hodge still ain't done yet. Cameron Hodge might not be done, but the Summers brothers have him basically cooked. He's got his head off his body. Hodge is still talking mad shit though, until a final blast from Cyclops shuts him up, knocks him off the building. Havoc, you don't need to go and see Cameron Hodge fall. Come on, don't go. Oh, just like Jason Voorhees, Cameron Hodge just won't die. He wraps his nasty tentacles around Havoc's neck, about to pull him off the ledge. Cyclops comes in with the epic grab, but can Cyclops hold them both? And for how long? But the ledge crumbles, sending them all falling to their doom. Marvel Girl finally does something here. She saves both Cyclops and Havoc with her telekinesis, but she lets Hodge's head fall to the ground to the feet of Wolfsbane to be her new chew toy. Now this is what I'm talking about. A busty, huge werewolf lady using her lady wolf paws to rip Hodge's face into pieces? This is how you end a vile villain, just like this, with epic savagery. And Richter gets in the game, bringing the whole Citadel down upon the hedge of Hodge. No overkill is enough for that piece of crap. But here's a quick question. Can Cameron Hodge actually die, even though he's just a face, brain, head at the bottom of this building's rubble? He made that deal with Naoster the demon to not die. So is he just going to be alive under all this rubble to crawl out one day and make a comeback? I don't know. The military, led by Tam Anderson, which is Havoc's girlfriend, has taken control of the Genosian government, putting a stop to this nonsense. Havoc and Wolfsbane decide to stay in Genosha because they want to make sure the mutates are treated well, which is a big deal, as Richter and Wolfsbane were creating a new love together. But with Wolfsbane's new transformation, I don't think she can go back into a human-looking form at all. It's furry all the time for her, I think, just like the Beast. Hey, They should have written for Beast and Wolfsbane to have a romance. Furry love. If you watch my Ghost Rider series, all the crazy events started in Salem Cemetery, which is where the mutants are now spreading Warlock's ashes on the grave of their former teammate Doug. It's a romantic setting to end a miniseries, as the final page occurring in a cemetery and the last panel a headstone. I think it's symbolic visually that the storyline represents that this is done, this is over. What y'all think of this 9-part miniseries? I, for one, gained a lot of respect for Cameron Hodge as a serious top 5 candidate for hardest villain to beat for the X teams, whether it be X-Men or X Factor. That dude was a menace. Well, that wraps up the Extinction Agenda. I am so glad to have revisited now as I'm older to get a better understanding and appreciation for the event. Stay tuned. We are inching ever closer to wrapping up the X Factor series. Only 8 more issues to go. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you real soon. Peace.